Hey folks, Graham here. I'm outside the Tan Si Chong Su Temple in Singapore. Very beautiful. And if you come to Southeast Asia, you'll find many of these ancestral Chinese temples all over. And the reason is because the Hokkien Chinese came from southern China to Southeast Asia, and they brought their stories and their traditions with them. And this ancestral temple celebrates the Tan clan. Now, Tan is a very popular surname in Singapore. So if you're a Tan, then your forebears, your ancestors probably built this. And inside this temple encoded all those stories about the great people of the Tan family that came before you. And it creates that story of belonging which people need, that they understand how they fit into the world and how they relate to the wider universe around them. So one of these doors here, I'm not sure which one, but you enter through the, if I get this right, the dragon door, where you seek favors from the gods, and you exit through the other one, I think it's the tiger door, where you are admonished of your sins. So what's interesting about this is the whole idea of storytelling. And stories aren't some artifact of a bygone era, but it's what we still do today. And we're not telling stories about our ancestors, but we're telling stories about brands and how we belong in this world. So gone are the family clans, and in their place we tell stories about how we see ourselves fitting into society through a brand. That could be, for example, the Pepsi generation, or it could be, for example, let's say, the difference between owning a PC and a Mac, for example. These are still stories. It's the same idea, like the stories that were told here about the Tan clan. They're no different. So the reason why I wanted to share that with you was why we tell stories. We don't tell stories because it's once upon a time. We tell stories because we want to belong, and it's a basic human need. And the stories that were told about the Tan clan, for example, helped us understand how we fitted into the world. So this comes now back full circle to why tell stories. If you're a marketer, we tell stories because we want to help people understand how to connect with a brand and where that puts them in the world. So we don't just tell stories to make a nice sort of fuzzy feeling about our brand. We tell stories to create the brand. They are the brand. These are the myths, like the myths told here in this temple. These are the myths that create brands that people were talking about, whether it is Michael Dell in the garage or Stephen Wobbs. Stephen was creating the early Apple computer. It's the same. And what I put to you is that today the challenge is we're losing the art of storytelling. There's a storytelling gap, and one of the reasons is because this big push to data, and as much as data is useful, is not the only answer. Data can't replace storytelling. So if we rely on data only, we will lose the ability to tell stories about our work, our campaigns, our brands, our companies, our products, because that's what people seek. People seek the emotional connection. That's a human instinct. And if we aren't able to do that, then we just become a commodity.